Hello world, how y'all doing? It's your boy Boss Rider, checking in again for Navigate Logistics, and I would like to welcome y'all to the channel once again. Can I please get that like? You can join the tribe and subscribe, and you can share if you really care. Today's topic, I would just like to extend my welcome and try to give some tricks and some tips to the new drivers out there, people looking to get their CDL, people in training, men and women. It's a pleasure to see more female truck drivers out there now. It's really a pleasure to see the motivated and dedicated women that's out there doing what I do, that's not scared, to accomplish their dreams and their goals. It can be done, you know what I'm saying? It's a lifestyle, like I said before. It's not just a job. It's something that really takes some adjusting and some sacrifice and some patience. And it is a learning curve, and you're gonna learn every day. It's something new every day you're gonna learn. Me with over 20 years experience, I'm still learning every day. So, just starting off, like I said before in my previous video, I tried to explain the benefits of learning how to drive a manual truck with a straight 10 speed, 13 speed, or even an 18 speed. The benefits of learning a manual truck, it helps you gain and get familiar with the control of a truck. You can have more control when you're slowing down, when you're going up hills, when you're coming down hills, things of that nature, because you get more familiar with the RPMs, how the truck responds in certain gears, and to me it helps you get more comfortable behind the wheel. It's a lot more difficult to do that now because it's not a lot of manual trucks out there. But if you can find somebody that'll help you practice in a manual truck and get you comfortable, that's one of my suggestions right there. Now, if you don't have that option, you got to do what you got to do. Driving an automatic truck is a lot more easier. So, don't hold your head or think that you're going to be left out on some things. Just, make sure you take that serious as well and understand that you need to learn how the truck responds, coming around curves, bagging into docks, going up hills and coming down hills, as far as what gear the truck is in, the RPMs. When you're bagging in the docks with a manual truck, you can have it in reverse, and the truck will respond to what you do with the accelerated pedal a lot smoother, a lot better. You can kind of ease in there a lot better. On an automatic truck, you gotta kind of work the brake pedal more, and there's a gray area when you're backing up with an automatic truck with that transmission and response time. So you gotta make sure you have your foot on that brake and go slow. That might be the first tip. When you're out here trying to drive a truck, and you're out here driving trucks, slower is always better. These trucks are extremely large. They take up a lot of room on the highway, in a parking lot, and you never want to be in a rush driving a truck. Never. Accidents always happen when you get in a rush driving this type of equipment. My trainer, when I first started out, I got trained going up and down 77 from Ohio to like Charlotte, and it's a portion on 77 in Virginia right before you hit North Carolina called Fancy Gap. I know some of the experienced drivers they out there they're familiar with what I'm talking about. Fancy Gap has like if I can't mistake it, like maybe a 7% drop downgrade. I could be wrong. It's one of the steepest downgrades you can go. You can go up and go down on the northeast side of the country, and I got trained in there in the wintertime. And one of the things that stuck with me, it was like he told me, you know, you can go down a mountain or a steep grade 1,000,000 times too slow, but you only got one time to come down there too fast. And at first it didn't really hit, but then it did hit me. Because, you know, driving this equipment, man, if you're going slow and you take your time, you can minimize the mistakes. But you only got one time to be trying to rush or come down a hill too fast, and you can't slow that equipment down, and that ain't gonna be a good look. I have seen trucks get in bad accidents coming down hills because the brakes failed or they just couldn't get the truck slowed down. Once that truck start rolling and the RPM's going high, you're in the wrong gear. It's very hard to try to slow that truck down. You got your Drake brakes and you got your pedal brakes, your air brakes, but that's the thing with air brakes. You got air pressure. Once that pressure gets low, those brakes are lock up, and then you just, you know, all hell breaks loose. Once those brakes locked up, you just slide, you know what I'm saying? And tires go to blowing, and the trailer go to jackknifing. It's not a good look, so always go slow when you're driving trucks, man. Take your time. When you're on the road, you hear some of these terms like aim high and steering. That means always be in the future, look ahead. You know, as far as you can see, you want to see what the traffic's doing ahead of you. Take a look in your mirrors. You want to see what the traffic's doing ahead of you. Me, I like to ride the middle lane. If it's 3 lanes, to me that's the fast lane for the trucks. You got the slow lane over here on the right side. I like to ride the middle lane because on the slow lane, you always got incoming traffic, and it's going to force you to always have to let incoming traffic come in, and you're always going to have slower traffic on the right hand side, so you're always going to be maneuvering in and out of lanes. The middle lane, you can do the speed limit, you can put your cruise control on, and you can see both sides of your trailer. You always, so like I said, aim high in steering, and make sure you're always watching your surroundings, your mirrors and stuff like that. I got good peripheral vision, so, you know, in my videos you might not see my head moving all the time, but I can see my mirrors, you know what I'm saying? I got them adjusted to my sight, so I'm always aware of what's going on around me. So that's one of the terms you're going to hear is aim high and steering. Always be looking ahead, always drive in the future. Know your next move before you have to make it. This stuff out here on the highway, a lot of stuff happens so fast. Tires blow out, cars swerve, debris in the highway. You're gonna have to be prepared for sudden changes. When you're parking, bagging, you'll hear a term called GOAL, GOAL. I got that on my mirrors on both sides, and that's an acronym for Get Out and Look. It's been around since I started trucking. You always want to get out and look. You have several blind spots on these trucks, and when you're bagging up, if you don't know exactly what that truck is doing when you're bagging up, it's best to always pop those brakes, get out and look. Don't be ashamed of trying to ask somebody to help spot you. I bag up pretty good, but even in tight situations, if somebody's looking at me, watching me, I don't got no problem with, hey man, can you spot me? You know, Because accidents, insurance claims, that can put you in a tight situation, especially when you're just starting off in your career. It can limit your opportunities as far as how much you can make, where you can work, things of that nature. So aim high and steering when you're on the road. Get out and look when you're bagging and parking. Bagging and parking is going to be some of the most important things that you have to learn how to do when you're trying to take your CDL and pass your test, your road test. You're going to have to do straight bagging. I had to do parallel parking, and also had to do blindside bagging. Some of the tips that I can give when you're bagging, you're controlling the trailer tires with your truck tires, with your steel tires. You're controlling the trailer tires. So everything is going to be opposite. If you're bagging on the driver's side, you get your setup slow. I rarely use, the gas pedal when I'm doing my setup to come into my parking. They tell you to set up at a 90-degree angle. When you're cutting the wheels into the parking lot or into the parking space, your right hand turn is going to cut and turn your trailer tires. Your left hand turn is going to straighten your truck up. So when you're trying to curve the trailer into the parking lot or in the parking space, it's going to be all right, and you can guide it like that. And if you're cutting it too much, you want to give it some left. Some of the mistakes that new drivers make is they rush. They're using the accelerator while they're trying to bag up. And on these trucks, they're big wheels. The truck responds after every turn of the wheel. So once the wheel turns one time, then it'll respond. So if you're doing all that real fast while you're bagging up, your truck doesn't even have enough time to respond, and you're going to end up probably jackknifing or hitting something. So you want to go slow. Let that wheel turn one time, give it some more, cut. Let that wheel turn one time, give it a left to straighten it out. A lot of times, and what I see too, what I still see every day is drivers are bagging into these docks and stuff like that. A lot of these customers want you to go ahead and slide your tandems to the rear. When you're bagging up in tight spaces, that's what it is. People passing me by. I get that thing one time. But when you're bagging in the tight spaces, I come to find out when you slide your tandems to the rear, it's easier to control the trailer in tight spaces. So if you got those tandems slid to the rear, it's a tight space, go ahead and slide your tandems to the rear. And when you're making that cut to turn into that parking space, the wheels will respond faster. If you got your tandem slid all the way to the front, that trailer is going to be hanging out a lot more. And it makes it a little bit more difficult to bag in tight spaces. So that's another tip is slide your tandems to the rear if you got a tight parking space or loading or unloading dock. Get out and look. Don't be scared or ashamed to ask for help. Get somebody to spot you. I run into people all the time. They get out here and they're tired. They're trying to find a place to park, and just because you got all the drivers in their truck sitting up there looking at you and stuff, or on the CB, they get nervous and they just give up. You know what I'm saying? Don't get like that. Everybody had to start somewhere, and it can be the guy with the most experience. All it takes is just be rushing and do something wrong, and you'll hit something. But if you're going slow, if you're not trying to rush, even if you do tap something, you ain't gonna damage it as much as if you were going fast and not in control of the situation. you're learning, you're training, you're studying to get your CDL, make sure you read all the materials, the pre-trip, post-trip inspection. You want to learn that. Some people, you have different ways to learn. I've heard some people make songs out of it, make a little rhyme, or whatever they got to do to kind of remember some of the stuff. I'm a hands-on guy, so I like to touch stuff. I like to, if I put my hands on it and say what it is, it helps me remember a lot more. With the pre-trip and post-trip, they only take 10-15 minutes, and you're supposed to do that every day. You want to get in the habit of doing that, so it'll be second nature to you when you're out here on the road, and it minimizes your mistakes, and allows you to be comfortable and aware of the equipment that you operate. You're going to have to know how to do that post-trip and pre-trip inspection. I'm not sure if they're still requiring drivers to know how to adjust brakes. That's something that you have to do manually, socket wrench on the trailer. Just get in there and adjust the brakes, because brakes come out of adjustment a lot. I adjust my brakes pretty much every other day or every week, just depending on the situation. When I bought my trailer, my brakes were way out of adjustment. They were they were catching before my tractor brakes, and you end up sliding your trailer tires, and you end up getting bald spots like that if your brakes are out of adjustment. I had to take some time to get them adjusted. Coming through a weigh station right now. I always want to go the speed limit, keep your following distance when you're coming through these weigh stations. You want to make sure you have, if they do pull you on the scale, you want to roll your window down. So if they have any instructions for you while you're on the scale, you can hear them. Keep your window up. That's not a good look. You do have inspections and you're dealing with the DOT officers. I come to find out, as long as you're respectful and polite, they'll treat you the same. I like to ask questions, I like to pick their brain about stuff, when they pull me over. I never really had a problem with DOT as far as, inspections or anything, just being polite, respectful, ask questions, and, they reciprocate the same energy. They're just doing their job just like we are. But like I say, you're training to get your CDL. Learn your pre-trip and your post-trip. Get familiar with the equipment, the airlines, the brakes, what the air brake system does, what it's designed to do, and what happens when it malfunctions. You want to get familiar with draining those air tanks and study why you need to drain those air tanks and get the water out of those airlines. Checking your airlines, your glad hands, your fittings, making sure the truck is lubed up, greased up real good. I just got a service done on my Volvo. Everything went smoothly. I had another annual inspection done, and it passed, so I'm grateful for that. This is mechanical equipment. Things happen. Stuff break, but as long as you're doing what you need to do as far as pre-trip, post-trip, inspecting your equipment, you can minimize your breakdowns, you can minimize the failed inspections and things of that nature. But you want to get yourself familiar with the equipment, the truck that you're going to be operating, how to lock in the power differentials if you get stuck in the mud or something like that. How to slide your tandems, how to check your tread depth on your tires, how to check your hub seals, making sure your hubs are lubricated with oil. So if they're not, that hub will get real hot, and I've seen them come off. I've had one come off. Going down the road, the wheel just pop off the trailer. It's a scary thing. It's very scary because that thing can hit oncoming traffic or anything, you know. So, and that stuff happens by not knowing your equipment. That stuff I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with people I used to work for with faulty equipment, me not knowing their equipment, and stuff like that happens. You know, hub seals wasn't oiled up right, and the hub got hot, and the thing pop off of there. And it's a very dangerous situation. So you want to make sure you check your hub seals, check your airlines, check your brake pads, make sure there's no cracks, things of that nature. You want to make sure you know everything that DOT officer is going to look for. Studying your tests, like I say, study all the information. You're maneuvering, bagging, go slow. The truck responds every turn of the wheel, so you don't have to rush. Take it slow and get it in there. Let's see what else I can put out there. Once you get all that information done and you get yourself familiar with the pre-trip and post-trip, and you get comfortable behind the wheel, bagging up, and maneuvering the truck, then you want to get yourself adjusted and prepared for the lifestyle of being a truck driver. And that's probably another video I'm going to get into. Yeah, I think I'm going to say that for another video. Stuff that I didn't know, or, you know, I wasn't expecting before I became a truck driver. But those are just some of my tips. Some of my things that I feel like are important that drivers need to take serious. Knowing how to change light bulbs, trailer lights, mud flaps. You're gonna have to get your hands dirty sometime, because knowing how to swap a mud flap out, or a trailer light, or a truck light, that can save you a lot of time and aggravation, and then also can save you from getting a violation out here by DOT. So anybody out there got something I can add to it, or you want to add to it, please drop it down in the comment section. I'd like to thank you guys once again for watching and being a part. I'm empty. All right, thank you. Being a part of Navigate Logistics. I'm on my way out of Florida, and you guys who don't know, when you're coming through Florida, you got the weigh station and you got your agricultural inspection station, so you got to stop for both. A lot of times they just give you a thumbs up. Sometimes they ask you what you got on there. But I'm gonna wrap this video up, y'all. Like I said, thank you for joining. Can I please get that like? You can join the tribe and subscribe, and you can share if you really care. Be safe out there. I'd like to welcome all the new truck drivers, men and women. It's your boy Boss Rider checking out. Peace.